Hey guys, and welcome to the episode of A Healthy Dose of Fran. Today, Percy Jackson returns in a video looking at possibly the best mother in the entire series, Sally Jackson, and how she actually has more of an important role than anybody expected. But this role didn't occur because she fell in love with Poseidon. But I want to look into what her role could have been if that didn't happen. So today, I'm looking at how Sally Jackson could have been the Oracle. Now, we all love Sally Jackson, hashtag Sally Jackson best mother ever, but I feel like she doesn't get enough recognition in the series than she should. And I think that's because she's kind of more of a background character. So that's why in this episode I really want to delve into Sally Jackson as a person and how before having Percy, and possibly even before meeting Poseidon, Sally Jackson had the potential for true greatness. But just other things just ended up getting in the way. And that's why this idea of being the Oracle came into mind, especially after meeting Rachel Elizabeth Dare and seeing how her powers came into being and comparing it to what we know about Sally. But before I do all of that, I'm going to look into the history and the ideas of the Oracle just so we get a bit of background information about that aspect. So in the historical sense of what an Oracle is and the main things that you have to qualify for to be an Oracle, they predominantly pertain to this idea of a young female virgin who would dedicate her life to following this god or embodying this entity for pretty much the rest of her life, and if she ever broke that vow, would die a horrible death, because that's just how things are done in history apparently. But from those ideas alone of a young virgin priestess, we can tie that to both Rachel and Sally, especially before Poseidon. So just from this historical context, let's move on to why Sally Jackson could be an Oracle. In Percy Jackson, the other added aspects as to what makes an Oracle the Oracle is based on the mortal being themselves and how well they can see through the mist. Now, just take away the fact of the curse that was put onto the Oracle in terms of Sally Jackson becoming the Oracle herself. Without that curse, it's quite possible that Sally could have been the Oracle, because from what we notice or learn from her in, I believe it's the Battle of the Labyrinth, she can see through the mist, but as she got older, her ability to see through it lessened. But then as we see in the last battle, she can see everything that is going on. Some aspects may be a little blurred, but she still knows exactly what she needs to attack, what they are, and where they are. So even though her power has faded over the years, from that fact alone, that she can still see everything throughout the whole series. I mean, like, she was even able to see the Minotaur in the first book. Her power when she was much younger must have been next level, or, from what we know, the same level as Rachel Elizabeth Dare. The mist aspect aside, Sally Jackson is an incredibly creative person. Now, I know this doesn't necessarily tie into the Oracle as a being, but from what we know of Rachel Elizabeth Dare's Oracle side, the way in which she predicts and can see the future is shown in her artistic abilities. Now, in the visions that Percy has relating to Rachel, we see her drawing images of the future even before she was the Oracle. So what's to say that Sally didn't do the same? Now, Sally Jackson is a writer, and power to her for doing that, because oh my goodness, I love that aspect about her, and I wish we knew what she was writing, because who knows, it could be prophetic. But moving on from that fact, her being a writer could have been the artistic side of her Oracle being coming out, because you would need quite an imagination to tell the story. And who's to say that this ability of hers didn't go on to predict her parents' death and then later her uncle's? or even grab the attention of a god. Now, gods are drawn to power and drawn to beings who are similar to themselves, but Sally was never the same as Poseidon. She didn't embody the things that were like the ocean, which is strange because that was the thing that always drew the gods. Apollo was drawn to singers, Aphrodite drawn to actors and beautiful people. But Poseidon was drawn to Sally, who isn't much of an ocean goer or anything related to the sea or any part of Poseidon's personality. So maybe he was drawn to her because of her power. Because she could have been the Oracle. If, of course, the curse wasn't on the Oracle of Delphi at that point. So, if she is powerful, what aspects of her power could there be? Now we have the mist, the fact that she must have been an incredibly powerful seer through the mist, because her power is still strong even as an older woman. Her creative mind, maybe that is what tied into her ability to see through the mist and maybe even see the future. As well as the fact that her mind was able to comprehend the idea of gods in the real world. Now, her discussions of the gods throughout the series, and even her talking about Poseidon in the past, she seems to have no issue whatsoever comprehending this. And this is just going on to Magnus Chase as a whole, and the discussion of mortal minds having to deal with this insaneness of gods existing. Take even Piper's father, who literally has his mind almost destroyed really because he can't deal with or emotionally comprehend this darkness in the world with gods, titans and giants. But Sally could. Sally had no issue with this whatsoever. Which leads me to believe that she may have been one of the most powerful mortals of her time. Now, if she hadn't have had a relationship with Poseidon, if she hadn't have had a child with him, it is quite possible that Sally Jackson could have been an oracle, because she could see through the mist at an intense level from a young age. She had the artistic abilities that could have led to her telling prophecies through writing and storytelling. And 3, her mind is able to comprehend the world of the gods with no questioning whatsoever. And if we say those 3 things relating to our current oracle, Rachel Elizabeth Dare, they are the exact same. So, to summarise that, Sally Jackson could have been the Oracle of Delphi. But what do you guys think? Do you agree with me that Sally could have been the Oracle of Delphi, or do you think it's not really a possibility? Whatever you think, let me know in the comment section down below. In general, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it, and I absolutely loved making this video. It was so much fun to talk about Sally Jackson, who #deserves more recognition. And we should totally get that hashtag going. Sally Jackson deserves more recognition. Let's get that trending out there, folks. But in general, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you go to the description box down below, you'll find the links to my Instagram, Twitter, merchandise store, which has some brilliant Percy Jackson related merch on there now, and my Patreon, where on Patreon there are now 5 tiers of access available, including such things as early access, poll involvement, and behind the scenes footage. But if you can't support me on Patreon, don't worry about it. Be sure to subscribe to me here on YouTube instead by going to the button down below and clicking subscribe, or clicking them on, popping up here on screen. If you want to check out any of my previous Percy Jackson videos, the playlist will be popping up here, and then something else for you beautiful people will be popping up here. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.